You're tuned in to the Restaurant Rockstars podcast. Powerful ideas to rock your restaurant. Here's your host, Roger Bodwin.
Hey there, it's Roger back at you from Restaurant Rockstars, and I got something new for you. In addition to my weekly live podcast, I'm doing something called Roger's Top Tip of the Week. Today's first top tip is, I'm going to ask you a question. Is every night in your restaurant a busy Saturday night? Well, unless you're in a major tourist destination and you got lines out the door every night, you probably have a night or two that's slow. Every restaurant does, okay? And if this is the case, you might need to explore closing a night or two in your restaurant. Why would you close? Well, it's a really simple answer to that. You might find out that your restaurant will lose less money being closed than open. So how do you find out? Well, with basic math, okay? We're going to do what is called a daily break-even exercise. I've worked with lots of restaurants, and you'd be surprised at how many don't have an idea of what their daily break-even number is. So let's begin, okay? Follow me here, it's simple math. We start by making a list of your fixed and variable costs. Maybe you've heard that term before, maybe not, but it's this simple. Your fixed costs are all the costs that your restaurant has to pay every single month, whether your doors are open or closed. It's things like the rent or your mortgage payment, property tax if you own the building, insurances, employee benefits, phone, internet, licenses, repairs, etc., etc. By contrast, variable costs change with your volume of business. Things like payroll and your cost of goods are your biggest variable costs. If you're having a slow night, you obviously have less staff on than when you're busy. And you're obviously using less product that you bought, and the rest stays in inventory. Credit card processing fees also vary with volume of sales, as does your usage of heating oil, propane, utilities, etc. You got that? Fixed and variable costs, two different lists. Now, once you have a list of both these fixed and variable costs, plug in your numbers from a recent profit and loss statement. If you're not the accountant or bookkeeper in your restaurant, ask your accountant or CPA to just give you a list of those. And you want to be super accurate and list them for an entire month. Some of your costs come in once a month, some are bi-weekly, but you want a monthly total for every single line item of both fixed and variable costs, okay? So for your cost of goods numbers, you're going to make an estimate based on your food and beverage cost percentage and your sales from a typical month. Now that you've got all of these things for 30 days or so, add them all up to get one total and then divide by 30 days to arrive at your daily break-even sales number. So here's the kicker. If you find that you've got a day or two each week where your sales are consistently less than your break-even, it makes sense for you to do one of two things. Try a new promotion to drive business on those slower days. If you've tried that and you can't really seem to drive business, then it makes sense to close, okay? Strongly consider closing on those below break-even days. But remember, consistency is super important to your customer, so once you've made this decision, stick with it, all right? That's my tip for today. So you need to know the value of this exercise, what your daily break-even is, and should your restaurant remain open or should you close? So for more helpful advice and lots of free tips and content, tune into my podcast, Restaurant Rockstars Podcast, top tips of the week, and all the free information at restaurantrockstars.com, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Restaurant Rockstars podcast. For lots of great resources, head over to restaurantrockstars.com. And while you're there, download a copy of the book, Rock Your Restaurant. It's a game changer. See you next time.